the president of Bruce Clay Inc. We are a internet marketing optimization company located in Southern California. I have the pleasure of speaking with Gary Illyes in Switzerland right now. He's on the line, and good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Bruce. It's really nice seeing your smiley face again.
Well, it's nice to have a smiley face. I'm really happy that you're here. This is going to be a short but nice private conversation. I've got a bunch of questions, and hopefully they will get some things going both ways, and it should be a good show. Should be a good show.
Yeah, let's hit it.
And I understand you have a cold.
I do have a cold, yes, a pretty nasty one.
So,
but I took some medication, and now I see ponies and unicorns everywhere, so it should be good.
I can't wait for the answers, or it'd be good. I have a couple questions that I've written down, so I'd like to kind of go through them a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
There's been a lot of discussion about HTTPS and mobile and local and performance and some things that are not specifically on page edits.
Yeah.
From your point of view, of all those things, what are some of the most important? Is it HTTPS or performance or all the, how does it play?
Well, that's a really great question. I think I wouldn't pick one as most important one, because each of them are important for their own reasons, right? So, for example, mobile is big. You can't deny that. It's really, really very big. In at least 10 countries, we have more mobile searches nowadays than desktop search, which is very telling. So I think everyone should focus on mobile, regardless of their business model or where their users are coming from. Users demand mobile-friendly sites, mobile-friendly or content that they can consume on their mobile devices. This doesn't mean that it has to be a mobile-friendly website. For example, it can be app indexing enabled. Mobile app, for example, smartphone app. We have tons of documentation how to go mobile friendly, both for app indexing or both for apps and for mobile websites. You also, I think you mentioned local.
Local.
Like from Google Google's point of view, I'm not too familiar with local because they are like a separate branch. But as a Google user, I think that local is also really important for specific businesses. Like, for example, if you have, if you have, for example, a restaurant, then you definitely want to be on local because those who are searching for restaurants want to find you easily. To give another example, I'm kind of a bookworm, and I'm also a collector. For books that I want to add to my collection, which are like really old books, usually I do extensive research. In those cases, I don't think that I'm looking for a local entry in the search results. But for example, if I want to pass time and I have 2 hours in London, for example, and I want to go to a bookshop, then local can give me relevant and useful information. For those cases, local is super important. But yeah, same for restaurants. If I search for Italian restaurant in Boston, then I expect a local result because I want to get there fast. I want the information fast. But if I'm looking for something more specific or more extreme, then I'm fine with digging deeper and doing some research. HTTPS is important for me and also for Google, but I do wish that everyone on the internet would go HTTPS to protect their users, but of course, this is just wishful thinking. I hope that like I see more and more websites on HTTPS, because I think that privacy, for example, and yeah, privacy is important. But of course, I can't expect everyone to go HTTPS. Some people don't have the resources for that. Some people just don't want to do it because reasons, I don't know. So yeah, it's important in general, but if you don't do it, it's perfectly fine. If you're in a competitive niche, then it can give you an edge from Google's point of view with the HTTPS ranking boost. It acts more like a tiebreaker. So, for example, if like all quality signals are equal for two results, then the one that would be on, or that is on HTTPS would get or may get the extra boost that is needed to trump the other result. I'm not sure what else you asked.
That's good. That's good. I have a second question.
Sure.
And I have a little bit of a preamble for it. As you may know, I'm sure you know, Google had laid out a lot of penalties over the last few years. Some of them having to do with linking, some of them having to do with quality, other things. A lot of people had come to us, and I think other firms, to remove penalties. And we've been diligently in editing the customer sites, and we've been pruning off bad links and stabilizing the content. And most of these people, by the time we're done with them, have fully repented, and the sites are in really good shape. Now what we're finding is that because the algorithms aren't being updated as often as we would hope, those companies are now turning to us and asking us if we're frauding them out of their money by telling them that if they fix all this stuff, Google will reward them. It's actually turning around on the people that are actually doing the repairs. What will happen? When are we going to get updates? How often are we going to get them? Are they part of the algorithm? And what do you recommend a company does after they've fully repaired the site to tell the customer to just sit tight?
Okay, so I will assume that you are talking about Panda and Penguin and not a random algorithm update that you don't know about. So with Panda, about Panda, we don't think as a penalty. About Panda, we think more like a general ranking update. And long term, I would like to change people's perception about how they think about Panda, for example, because that's not, in our view, that's really not a penalty. Sites sometimes may become really prominent for certain queries they don't have great value content for example. And in those cases, since we want to offer our own users the best possible experience on our own search results, and we want them to find the correct information or the right information for their query, we have to adjust those overly prominent sites in our results. And I think not just Panda, but some of our algorithms try to do that. They try to value more content where or that answers the user's query better, and that's it. And if you think about it, this is pretty much in line with what our generic or general algorithms do. It's just with Panda, we can't update as fast as we do with our generic algorithms. Penguin. So I was on vacation for for a few weeks, and I fell out of the information flow about these things. Penguin refreshes on the long run, as far as I know, will happen almost real time or close to real time. But as usual, I don't have anything to announce. And I think I already said this. But an update is still really far away. I think we are still talking about months.
So if we are able to work with clients, if it is a quality issue and we make changes, we might be able to see a ranking change within days or weeks if they're respidered. But in the case of links, it'll take longer.
I think with Penguin, it would take almost real time. So recrawl reindexing would give results already. But with Panda, we are still talking about refreshes. And as far as I know, these refreshes will be rolled out really slow. This is an infrastructure change on our end, and I think we are going to stick with it. Or stick with it.
I think that to summarize that, it seems like if the issue is quality, we have to just keep working on it and wait for the update and the refreshes. And if it is linking and we have seriously removed a large number of the bad links, we may be able to see something almost real time. In many cases, we remove many, disavow many, and don't see any change. The client doesn't recognize a change in ranking. That could be because there's multiple algorithmic things dampening them. Is there something in there that says your quality was low, so we're going to lower you? Is that a manual process or is that algorithmic?
No, it's algorithmic. It's part of our core ranking algorithm. But I think with quality, people tend to, or SEOs tend to think or overthink it. What I see, I work a lot with websites, right? Because it's part of my job. And what I see is that in many cases, people or the SEOs over SEO, if that's a term, or the websites. What this means is that they are trying to rank for keywords or for terms the site doesn't have great value content for. And this is it's like the restaurant example I gave. If I search for Italian restaurant in Boston, in New York City, then I don't actually want results for restaurants in the tri-state area. I actually want results for New York City. And what I see often is that people try to rank for queries they don't have high quality and great value content for, and that's the problem. Sooner or later, the algorithms will catch that. You don't have to overthink it. It's simple content analysis, and they will adjust the rank for the site, and that's it.
Okay, that's great. I mean, that's what we think. You also indicated that Panda is part of the standard algorithm. Penguin is part of it, and it's real time. Is that right?
So that's our plan, to integrate Panda into our core ranking algorithm. I don't know if we managed to do that yet. With Penguin, we still have lots of work to do, as far as I know.
Okay, so we're gonna be waiting for various implementations. How will we find out when they're implemented? It'll just sort of happen, you'll announce it, and everybody will pick up on it fast?
I think, in general, we tend to not announce core ranking algorithm changes because there's not much we can say about it, or we don't think that people should focus too much on it. Most search engines published guidelines about how to build quality websites, and that's what people should focus on, and that's it. If you are doing more, then probably you are overdoing it. If we are asked about them, then maybe we will confirm that we rolled out something that is in Pandas and or Penguin's case. But in general, for core ranking algorithm changes, we don't confirm anything. It's when our guidelines, Webmaster guidelines, and the Amit's 23 points are not enough, then we will update those. But in general, we just want people to focus on building high quality sites, and we do have the guidelines for that.
Okay, and that's great. Along that line, and sort of a final touch point, May, you announced this thing called Phantom.
Well, we didn't actually announce
it. And I mean, does it exist? Is it imaginary? What is Phantom?
So first, a correction. We didn't announce anything. It was, as far as I know, it was core ranking algorithm change. But as I said, I don't know much about it. And in fact, I don't want to know much about it, even though I'm sometimes involved in ranking changes. I think we can go back to the quality guidelines and the Webmaster guidelines. I would really recommend focusing on those instead of these phantom updates and whatever updates. It's not productive, and I'm very sure there are way better things to focus on.
Okay, so kind of summary. If we focus on the Webmaster guidelines, that'd be your #1 advice for everybody. Is there any more? Hey, everybody pay attention to this. Is there something else that should be paid attention to other than just following the guidelines?
I would really want to say there's nothing more that you want to focus on. Like, if it's in the Webmaster guidelines and you follow the guidelines, then you will do good. I see many websites that are not doing much SEO on their sites, and they are doing remarkably well. If they can do it, then pretty much everyone else can do it. It's not just Google that published these guidelines. Other search engines did the same thing. Just focus on creating quality and great value content for the users. Don't try to rank for overly vague keywords, because it won't work out well on the long run, at least.
Okay, well, that has been absolutely great. Thank you. This has been more than insightful. I mean, you answered the questions. I appreciate all of your support. Hopefully you're going to get well.
Well, hopefully, yes.
And you won't see unicorns for much longer. Thank you very much for being with us.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Are you going to be in New York?
Yes, in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so I'll see you there.
Yep, see you there, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.